Hello there, Geminis. Welcome to your weekly tarot reading. So I'm going to switch things up a little bit, and I'm going to talk to you about your spiritual advice first. These bottom 5 cards, mainly because I feel like there are some issues that you have to work through. And from there, we'll go into your love reading, because this is going to kind of, it's related to this. So once we clear this energy out of the way, the love reading will make a lot more sense, okay? I've done this for Virgos before, mainly because I felt like there was a need for it, and I think it might be helpful for you guys as you navigate the energies of this week, because I feel like it's a little intense. So in terms of your spiritual advice, I feel like the main message for you is to kind of stay in the present moment, count your blessings, and really look at what you do have in front of you. So rather than scanning the horizon for new opportunities, for escapism, for things that you wish, could be there, could come in, for things that you long for, rather than doing that, scanning the horizon and never being completely 100% content, count your blessings, live in the moment, and take stock of what you have, especially the people that are around you, especially the people that are working towards building something with you, and the people that are reliable and have always been consistent in their effort and consistent in their ability to be there for you when you need them. And the reason why I say that is I feel like this is the energy of somebody looking for, like an outsider looking in, okay? Looking in at a situation, possibly wanting what you have, wanting your position, wanting the love and the guidance and the blessings. So somebody is looking in on you, possibly like, checking on you. I'm seeing like checking on social media and things like that, okay? Somebody that's like constantly monitoring what you're doing, how you appear, what you talk about. And I feel like there's a deep sense of this person being quite controlling, wanting to dominate the situation and wanting to tell you, you should do this, you should do that. And so they have this laser beam focus on first your household, your work sector, your ability to lead others as well. So I feel like there's kind of honing in, trying to figure out what you're doing, possibly wanting your position, wanting your work, wanting all the blessings that you have. I don't see an energy of somebody sabotaging you. I don't sense that. But I feel like somebody really wants what you have. And so if it's a job, do the best to your capabilities. Don't leave room for somebody to sneak in from under you and steal things from right under you. If it's a relationship as well, nurture your marriage, nurture your family, nurture your relationship, and embody this energy of the Emperor, trying to do the right thing, trying to follow that voice of reason, that voice of rationality, and taking a stance, okay? So being very firm in what you believe in. So if it's a work situation, if somebody is doing something that you don't like, you can't be passive aggressive. You need to really speak up. So I feel like there is some passive aggressiveness. And I feel like, if somebody does something that we don't like, we need to hold them accountable for the way that they treat us, for the way that they behave, rather than just saying, oh, I'm going to avoid that person, right? Like the problem doesn't go away if you avoid it. And then if you kind of seethe in anger over something that they did, but you never address it with them, then you can't really be angry at them for the things that they do, because they're not really aware of the impact of these actions on you. So it's up to you to really, defend your territory, stand your ground, and not have to, cower because of conflict, or cower away from conflict because you're conflict avoidant. So I feel like this is a good week for you to be very firm with how you are expressing yourself, and be less mutable, be a little bit more forthright in your expectations for other people. If you are in a leadership position, a lot of people look up to you. We have here the Three of Pentacles, wanting to build things with you, coming to you to consult you, and coming to you for your guidance and your clarity and your expertise. And a lot of you guys, you're very, very good as troubleshooters. You think really fast on your feet. You know a lot of things about a lot of things, and you know how to make problems go away for other people, because you have a knack for problem solving, and you actually enjoy it. So I feel like a lot of people will be coming to you for opportunities for consultation, for advice, for clarity. And I see younger people as well, and I also see like older. So I see like not a you know, like a wide spectrum when it comes to age, but I feel like people who are very, very young, and then people who are a lot older than you. And the ones that are older than you, honestly, they're pushing your buttons, because I feel like for many of you in positions of power, you might be very, very young, and they're looking at you kind of skeptically. They feel as if you haven't really earned your stripes. You haven't had the years of experience under your belt, but nonetheless, you're very good at what you do. And so they come to you kind of like with a challenging stance, and they're coming to you in a very antagonistic way. So these are like the older folks. And I feel a lot of it has to do with their own, you know, insecurities, their own issues that they're projecting on you. But more than anything, stand your ground. Talk to them as if, you know, age doesn't really matter. Talk to them with that voice of authority, and really, really stand up for what you believe in. So never mind the age gap. Just be very clear when you communicate, and be very firm when it comes to what you expect from other people, okay? So age does not matter. It should not matter when you're trying to lead others. So I feel like in the home environment, it's the same type of energy, where some people feel like they're older than you. They have more knowledge, more wisdom, more insights, and that's not always the case, okay? Our worldview is determined by our life experiences. And so I already see like clashes when it comes to generational gaps. You know, how do we raise the kids? What religion should we teach them? You know, like how do we get a situation sorted out when there are too many people involved? So for example, if it's a marriage and the in-laws are involved and everyone is putting in their 2 cents, when the marriage is between you and the partner and the children. So I feel like there are a lot of people meddling in your affairs because they're overstepping their boundaries. I mean, they mean well, but they're overstepping their boundaries, and they're giving you advice that's not really appropriate for you. So this is a good week overall for you to seek advice from a person who is in a position of authority. So for example, if you have, you know, if you need financial advice, consult a financial advisor. Don't talk to, you know, your cousin Joe, who's had like 3 bankruptcies, right? And then if you need marital relationship advice, consult a therapist, see a marriage counselor. Don't talk to your mom and dad who might have a very tenuous relationship with one another. So learning to ask for help from the right people, and then learning as well to really stand your ground and figure out what you need and demand it of other people. So it's not a great week for you to compromise. It's a great week for you to assert your authority and assert, you know, be a little bit more fixed, be a little bit more, I want to say, and no offense to anyone watching this, be less of a Gemini, less of a Libra, and be a little bit more fixed like an Aquarius. Because I feel like, you know, there are things that you cannot compromise on. And if the things are values related, it is really, really important for you to stand your ground, okay? So that's going to allow me to segue into the love relationship sector, because I feel like there's conflict coming into the picture. So the first thing I have here is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a situation where a lot of words have been said. A lot of things have been out in the open that we can't really take back. A lot of, it's like too many things have happened, too much has been said. Where do we go from here? But I feel like this process of unearthing these things that are problematic, that we have swept under the rug, or that we have ignored, or, you know, that we've never addressed with the other person, these things are meant to come out. These things are meant to come out into the open so that we can deal with them. Because, you know, the more we love somebody, the more they're gonna push our buttons, right? And the more time we spend with someone, the more good times and bad times start to build up. And so I feel like if things are not addressed, this is the week where they implode. This is the week where we talk about, I did all of this, what did you do? And then the other person was like, well, I did all of that too, what did you do? So it's like keeping scores of that internal side of you where, you know, as the twins, I feel like you want your partner to be like you. You want your partner to intuitively understand you. And you feel like if it's my soulmate, if it's somebody I'm meant to be with, they should understand me without me talking. Well, it doesn't really make sense. No one can intuitively and empathically sense what you need. And even then, you know, they're probably going to be picking things up like 75% of the time, rather than every single time. So it's really important for you to talk and communicate and not let things build up to this point, okay? And this is a really great battle, I feel like, between a relationship partner. And the reason I say that is we have here the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. So air energy, a lot of communication, not a lot of feelings, not a lot of emotions. And so no one is really speaking from the heart. They're speaking from a space of calculation, keeping tabs, keeping scores. I did this, you did that. So it's a very cold, detached, and almost antagonistic type of a vibe that I'm getting here. You might be dealing with another air sign, so an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. And this is the Gemini card. She has like two faces to her. So I feel like this might be the partner that you're dealing with. You have somebody that is really good with animals. You have someone who is, I'm getting like an Ivy League type of education. So somebody that might have multiple degrees. They're very, very intelligent. They're very worldly. They're less, I want to say like, they're not like materialistic. So, you know, money doesn't really mean a lot to them. They care about higher ideals, higher values. They might also be like a social entrepreneur, a philanthropist. They want to fight a good fight. They want people to be well fed and happy. So you've got somebody who is like, it's an air sign, but I feel like more, they're a little bit more idealistic. Okay, so whereas for you, your sword is planted firmly on the ground, you're resting on it. So I feel like this denotes that, you know, you care about security, you care about having a good job, staying at a good job, building up your reputation, building up, you know, getting significant pay increases every year. So you care about these security things. But these security things are not really innately important for a typical Gemini. And over time, these things that you build up, because it's secure, because you believe, that's what you're meant to do. I feel like it's keeping you stuck, and it's not really allowing you to live out your dream. It's not allowing you to be flexible and mobile and, you know, really living a life that is authentically you rather than security based. And so you're coming across another person who is like a little bit more, it's like this is a twin energy. This is a really significant relationship where somebody is showing you a different side of themselves. So you can tell, just the vibe, this person's a lot more relaxed, and this person is very, very tense. This person, they dress well, but it doesn't mean that they care about the material things. I feel like they're a world traveler. They collect objects and clothing and habits and languages from all different parts of the world, and I feel like they have this sense of exoticism about them, and you're naturally very drawn to them. You might be a little bit envious of their idealism. You might be envious of the way, the carefree, quote unquote carefree life that they lead. And they don't seem like they're plagued with worries. They don't seem like they're torn and conflicted. And they don't seem like they have a lot of drama or a lot of problems in their lives, because they're just, carefree and free-spirited and mobile. And so there are ideological clashes between you and this person when it comes to, stability, relationships. There's mutual fascination here that I'm sensing, but you two value very, very different things. And this is somebody that I feel, if you are this person, you might have a lot of earth in you. If you are this person, you might have a lot of water in you, or fire, where you're philanthropic and you're kind of like a free spirit. And I feel like it's a situation where there might have been arguments, but there is a reconciliation, okay? So for those in relationship, significant relationship or marriages, if there has been issues, there is an apology coming into the picture here with the Knight of Cups, which is like an offering, a peace offering, a peaceful gesture, a gesture to kind of like, let's just, not beat a dead horse. Let's just overcome our ideological differences, and let's just agree to disagree. It doesn't mean that we passive-aggressively sweep things under the rug. It just means that we value each other enough to respect each other's differences and move away from it. Okay, so I feel like you're operating from a space where a lot of score, like evening out the score, a lot of keeping score, keeping tabs, a lot of things that might have been swept under the rug are imploding for this week. But they need it to happen, to come out into the open, so that an apology can take place, so that you can harmonize and come together with another person and, address all of your issues, but in a way where, it's allowing you to be less conflict avoidant, okay? Because conflict is not always bad. It can be bad if we ignore it. It can be bad if we become defensive. And it can be really bad if the other person is just emotionally irrational. But this is the week where you are dealing with a partner, a love interest, that is very, very, very rational. So if they're in the reverse, they might be, very manipulative. They might be like very deceitful. But in the upright position, they're willing to talk things out. They don't shy away from conflict. They know that everyone has their flaws. So, let's talk things out. Let's figure out the solution. So this is somebody who is a fixer. They are solutions oriented. And I feel like there's going to be a major, major victory here with the Six of Wands, overcoming your troubles, being able to sail on from conflict and heartache and, harsh words and things like that, because you're in a league with somebody that is very much like you, except, they're not conflict avoidant. They kind of charge right in and they're like, okay, what's the matter? Let's talk about this. So they're going to sit down and you're going to need to talk, and you're going to need to face your fears, and you're going to realize in the process of facing your fears that your fears are unfounded, that not every situation where there is a disagreement, it's not going to lead to a fight. it's not going to lead to a space where you are acting, defensively, or the other person will be evasive. There is clear and total understanding and communication that's happening for this week to really help you understand another person, and to help you as well learn to address issues and not be passive aggressive and not be conflict avoidant. And you're going to confront a situation head on, and the situation involves another person that is very much like you, in that they want harmony, they want balance, but they understand that harmony and balance needs to happen, or can only happen, when we arrive at a truce. Okay, so you have some beautiful things coming into the picture. If there are issues, conflict, fights, and things like that, I feel like a lot of it has to do with responsibilities in the household. Who's doing what? Who's taking care of what? And that whole process about keeping score. So you might be dealing with a Libra. You might have Libra in your chart, where you're very, very sensitive to imbalances in the relationship. And I asked, what is one of the major conflict that's coming into the picture? And I have here the Queen of Wands, and this is like the fairy godmother. So you might have issues when it comes to taking care of in-laws, or in-laws meddling in the parenting of the children. You might also, I'm sensing this, but not so much, you might have somebody that's interfering in your relationship. Hence, somebody is like on the outside looking in. Okay, so just be very careful about that. All right, so I hope the reading is helpful for you, Gemini. Face your fears. Face your fears. The shadow side of you is the Sagittarius, and Sagittarius, they just charge in and solve problems. So calling upon that side of you, I feel, might be helpful for this week. Okay, so I wish you all the best. I'll be back next week. Take care.